Game 1 on the road. That's the same thing the San Antonio Spurs did in that memorable win on Monday in Oklahoma City. Game 2, more of the same. Just remarkable high-level basketball, back and forth, and look out! Stephon Castle rises up. Isaiah Hartenstein, nothing you could do. Wemby couldn't believe it. Here's how it sounded in San Antonio on the radio.
Castle, he goes to work. Castle, oh my goodness! In the face of Isaiah Hartenstein with a right-hand tomahawk slam. Man!
Great look at the NBC broadcast as they reacted in real time as well. But it's only worth 2 points, and it's a 5-point lead for the home team. Make that 7 in transition. Alex Caruso feeds the MVP. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, brilliant in this game throughout. They're up 7. Hartenstein trying to deal with Wembanyama, and that's a whole lot to deal with. Here, the ball fake, but the nice defense turns into a steal. San Antonio turned it over a bunch. I'm going to get a box score and get eyes on that number. It was a large number. Shai puts it on the deck. King of the mid-range. Wemby had 3 first-half turnovers. Jalen Williams unfortunately left with a hamstring issue, which you know he has battled back from. He would not return in this game. A bit of a war of attrition on both sides. Down 3, he's done it again. It's not with 30 seconds left in the game, but once again, Wembanyama steps into a long-range 3, ties it at 66. Here, he plays sort of Nerf with himself. He knows the shot's off. He follows with a putback. Just, Mike Tirico put it well, mesmerizing. But so is Shai. Here, off the miss. This is an unfortunate situation as Dylan Harper, the brilliant rookie, gets tied up with Chet Holmgren. Harper would head back to the locker room, tried to come back out to the floor, but his night was done, and they're already without Fox. So that was a big loss. Here, the handles from the MVP, loses Carter Bryant, and that's bottoms, and the lead grows back to 8. Shai to the corner. And Chet Holmgren fired up, takes it to the rim, and the building is roaring as they lead by 8. Into the 4th, it's a 5-point game. Jared McCain, this was a big one, off glass, and it rattles home, and he knows that wasn't the intention, but it doesn't matter because it went in. Then it's Shai on the floater, bucket good, the lead grows to 9. Then the corner 3 from Keldon Johnson cuts it to 6. So a 6-point game, plenty of time to go. You know, San Antonio won't go quietly. Wembanyama down low. Another 2, and it's a 5-point game. Step back, MVP stuff right there, and Shai knew just how much that mattered. 7-point lead. The threes were falling to keep San Antonio close, but now this game is basically a wrap as Shai, Caruso down the lane. Caruso's been great the first couple. 30 and 9 for Shai, and it's a 9-point victory as the Thunder improved to 9-1. They're the 4th defending champion this century to win 9 of their first 10 postseason games. 2 of the previous 3 went on to repeat as NBA champions. The Heat of 12-13 and the Lakers at the turn of the millennium. Brian Windhorst joins me, and first thing we'll get to the specifics, but this is breathtaking basketball. Like, to me, this is the game at its highest level when you're seeing these stretches of just haymakers. It's like Hagler-Hearns, first round. Yeah?
I'm exhausted. I mean, the level of effort, the level of ingenuity, the level of creativity, the level of just sheer fight that is being displayed by these two teams. I mean, the Thunder have their entire hands full trying to deal with Victor Wembanyama. They are working so incredibly hard to battle him at both ends, to counter him, to figure out a way around him, over him, behind him. They're holding him, they're shoving him, they're pushing him. And then the Spurs are dealing with guys falling down with injury. I mean, this is really, truly going to be the heavyweight aspect of this is who's going to be standing at the end. This feels like 4 games have been packed into 2. And, so tonight, I would just say, incredible strategic move by the Thunder to go with Isaiah Hartenstein as the primary defender on Victor Wembanyama, which was able to hold him down. But the injury report is going to be almost the most important thing before Game 3 because both teams lost key players tonight. I'm not sure who's going to be upright in 2 days.
Well, obviously, and we showed it in the highlight, Williams, who came back in Game 1 after sitting with the hamstring issue. They hadn't needed him. That's a hell of a luxury, a player that talented that they didn't need to win all the games they already have. But in the case of the Spurs, who are already without Fox, who's a difference maker at point guard, to lose Harper, what was the impact of his absence down the stretch in your estimation?
I think a potential loss of Dylan Harper is potentially gigantic because we've got a high ankle sprain on De'Aaron Fox. That is an injury that is not going to probably get that much better. He may be able to gut it out, but you're looking at not having him right. So then Harper looks like, a potential leg injury there, like maybe a hamstring. If that's a situation that causes him to miss time, you're just playing too thin on the perimeter. Stephon Castle is playing tremendous basketball, but he's being asked to do so much. He had 9 turnovers in this game after 11 in Game 1. They're just running out of bodies on the perimeter here. They're asking so much of their guys. And then, Jalen Williams, if that's the hamstring again, that's his 4th hamstring injury this year. And then right at the end of the game, A.J. Mitchell, who's his de facto replacement, looks like he may have injured his quad. I mean, it's crazy what's going on.
Yeah, it's, as I said when you joined me, incredible high-level basketball. We just hope that there's enough health on both sides to continue. And we'll continue this conversation in just a moment. I understand Chet Holmgren has headphones on, so I'm going to welcome him to the show. I'll welcome Brian back in a minute. Chet, thanks for taking a minute. Thanks for being here with me. We were just raving about the level of basketball, Chet. It's incredible what you two teams have brought to the table in these 2 games. You're living in the middle of it. How would you describe what's required to win a game, 1 game in this series so far?
Yeah, SVP, first of all, Kay, good to see you. It's good to be on the show with you. But yeah, this is the basketball doesn't get better than this. These 2 great teams right here, and we saw it the last 2 games. It's been a fist fight back and forth all the way down the stretch. So we can't expect anything else for the rest of the series. We just got to keep punching.
Alex Caruso explained to me last year when I asked him for some insight on Shea. He said he's not the most vocal leader. It's an example thing. What was the example from Shea in between Game 1 and then during Game 2 where he was brilliant? Is there a way to describe it, Chet?
I think just the way that he carried himself. No matter what happens, he's going to continue to walk with confidence, come in, get his work in, and everybody follows suit. And, I think it's good that the, head of the snake kind of sets that tone.
Well, and as I say, he was great tonight, and it feels like next man up. We were just talking to Brian Windhorst. I don't know how much you heard, but, unfortunately, we see Jalen leave again with the hamstring issue. You guys have had to play through some of that. AJ stepped up, and maybe he gets hurt in the end, but you guys have to deal with adversity even though you're as great as you've been. How much does that prepare you for moments like this when it is literally next man up?
Yeah,